Hello, everyone, and welcome to the GoFormative Math Help number 34, Order of Operations. Let's jump right into it. The order of operations states that there's parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. Parentheses means multiply. Exponents usually look like, 2 to the third power or 4 to the second power. Exponents are that little number. And if you see that anywhere, we want to do that in order. Multiplication and division are equally weighted as important. When I was in school, back in my day, well, I guess maybe they just, either I didn't know or whatever, but I always thought that PEMDAS is PEMDAS, PEMDAS, that the M was before the division, and that's what you had to do, and that's not what that's supposed to mean. Multiplication and division are equally on the same level, just like addition and subtraction. Which one do you do first? If you have to decide between doing a multiplication or division problem first, you do the one that comes first. So that's how you decide. Whichever one comes first, left to right. So let's jump in and do that first problem. So 3 to the third power, there's an exponent. 4 to the second power, there's an exponent. Minus 1, that whole thing squared, minus 5 squared. Okay? So where do we start? Well, most people would say start with the exponents, but what's the first step? Parentheses. So do you see any parentheses? Yes, I see two. I see a big one here and this one. So we can do both simultaneously, but let's just take a look. So we know that 3 to the third power means 3 times 3 times 3, and 4 squared means 4 times 4. So let's do those two exponent problems first because they're inside a parenthesis. So the parenthesis is saying, hey, look here, do this stuff first. And once we're inside there, there's 3 things to do. And out of those 3 things, there's subtraction, but there's exponent. And if you look at the list of what to do, exponents higher than subtraction. So that's why we're going to do those exponent problems first. All right, so 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. And 4 times 4 is 16. And then we can rewrite that all and then square it. And then we know 5 times 5, we can do that, 25. So if you look carefully, now what? Well, we're still doing this parenthesis. And now inside the parenthesis, there's no exponents. So let's just subtract. 27, take away 16, take away 1. The answer is 10. However, the squared's still there. So we're going to rewrite the problem again. And now we have to do 10 squared. 10 times 10 is 100. And then lastly, 100 minus 25. And you can pause that, leave it there, go back and look at it. I'm sure there's going to be more like it. Let's take a look at some other ones. I'll do this one with you. 2 squared plus 10 times 2 divided by 2 squared. What do we do first? Parentheses. Well, there is no parentheses. Okay, next in command. All right. Exponents. I see 2. I see this one and this one. Which one do we do first? Well, left to right. So let's do the first one first. It's 4. And then let's do the other one. 4. Now let's rewrite it exactly, carefully. Okay. Now what? I don't see parentheses. I don't see exponents. You notice I have to start this process over every single time, right? I'm multiplying. Do I see a multiplying problem? Do I see a division problem? I'm on multiplying and division. Yes, I see both. I see multiplying and division. So which one do I do first? Whichever one comes first. So which one's first? Yeah, this one. So let's do 2 times 10 first. Okay. What's 2 times 10? 20. And then we rewrite it. I can tell you right now, a lot of kids do not like to rewrite the work over and over and over. They want to do it in their head as fast as possible and be done. Or throw it in their calculator and hope their calculator does all the order of operations for them so they don't have to do it. This is one of those skills that you will have to continually use in high school and in college. And you have to know the order. You have to. They make you know it all the time. So let's just get the order down. 2 steps left. Addition or division. Do you know which one goes first? If you don't know, go back and look at the list. Division goes before addition. So I'm going to do this problem first. What's 20 divided by 4? That's 5. And then I just rewrite it. 4 plus 5. And lastly, 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay. Let's do more. How many more are there? Tons? There's tons. Whoa. Okay. 12? 12's not tons. We can deal with 12. How about that one? That one looks great. Sure, why not? Why not? 1/2 times the quantity of 7 minus 3 squared times 3 divided by 24. So first things first, parentheses. What is in the parentheses? 7 minus 3. Well, let's just do that. What's 7 take away 3? 4. So rewrite it. 1/2 4 squared times 3 divided by 24. Now there's no more parentheses. Well, there still is. There's nothing to do inside that parenthesis, but we do have an exponent on it. Let's do that next. What's 4 squared? Now remember, squared doesn't mean 4 times 2. Squared means 4 times itself. What's 4 times 4? 16. And we're still going to leave it in parentheses, and I'll explain that in a second. I don't see this 1/2 that's touching everything, right? It's touching here. It means it needs to be times in there, multiplied in there, multiplied in there. So I don't want to just leave the I don't want to take off the parentheses just yet, because I want, it would look weird if, if you just saw this. Watch. Like if you just saw this problem, you're like, all right, go ahead and do this. And you're like, wait, what? Half 16. What's half 16? So the parentheses matter to me in that regard because they tell us we're going to multiply. So now you're looking at this problem, and here's a multiplication problem. Here's a multiplication problem, and here's a division problem. So which one do we do first? Whichever one comes first, because they're on the same level playing field. So let's do half of 16, which is 8. Now let's times 8 by 3, which is 24. And the very last step, divide 24 divided by 24. Any number divided by itself is 1. Any other questions? Yes, you, in red. Red shirt, go ahead. Okay, I see. How about we try one of those? Let's do one of these. How many of you listening to this are like, is he really listening to someone? Nope, I just made all that up. But let's do one more. I'll do one more, okay? All right. At least I think I'm funny. My dog, I thought, was laughing at me earlier, so my dog thinks I'm hilarious. My son laughs at me all the time. So, okay. By the way, I asked my son today, I said, "Are you tired? You want to take a nap?" And he looked at me and he said, "Yeah." Which is kind of a big deal because, he can't talk yet or doesn't talk yet or is about to talk. He says like Papa and he says, Dad, Mama. He has said dog now. He'll point at the dog and say dog. Sometimes he says like a dog, like that. So I don't know where the dog came from, but that's fine. If we show him a picture of my wife's dad, he'll look at that picture and say Papa, and that's the only word he whispers. He'll say like Papa, Papa. So that's new. But I said, "Hey, you want to take a nap?" And he's like, "Yeah." He looked right at me and said, "Yeah." And then I picked him up and put him in his crib, and he fell asleep for 2 hours. So that is how that went today. Big day. And he's about to take his steps. I think he's taking 1 step, 2 step, kind of like a 1 step, 2 step, and then he like lunges towards you. So any day he's going to be walking. Okay. All right, back to math. No parentheses. No exponents. So we just jump right to multiplication and division and then addition and subtraction. So we're going to do multiplication. I see a times problem there and there. So let's just do them in order. So 2 times 6 is first, then the 5 times the 4. And then you can put everything else back as is. Now what do you see? Subtraction, addition, subtraction. But those are on the same level, right? So you have to do whichever one comes first. This one comes first. 12 minus 20. People do not like 12 minus 20 because it gets you a negative number. It's going to be -8. But don't be afraid of that. Just write it down. Now what? I have an addition problem and a subtraction problem. Do whichever one comes first. -8 plus 9 is 1. And then lastly is 1 take away 4. Yay. I think that's all I'm going to do on this. I did like almost, 4 or 5 of them. And you should be able to try some more out. Make sure you follow the order. I'll leave you with the order one more time. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, parentheses, exponents. Screenshot that or look at that or memorize that or pause it there. Pause your video there and then do some of the problems. You can do that as well. All right, thank you.